My friends, welcome back to the channel. This is the Outdoor Gear Review. My name is Luke. I hope you all are doing well. What I have here today to review is the Helikon-Tex SuperTarp. I've been testing this out for a long time, for a good part of this year. You all have seen me use this in maybe a dozen adventures. Without a doubt, this tarp has seen a lot of action. With all of my experiences, I'm going to share with you my pros, my cons, my thoughts about this, and I'm going to share with you whether or not I would go out and purchase this product again. That begins now. So folks, let's go ahead and get started. Before we go any further in this episode, know that I have a preview for this tarp, which goes over every single detail in great detail. In this episode, I'm going over the basics, and I'm going to focus on my experiences, my pros and cons. So if there's a question that's not answered in this episode, it was answered in the preview. To start off here, let's go over what's included with this tarp. So first off, you get this storage bag here. It has a zipper along the front, it has mesh on the back, you have loops. You can attach this to the outside of your backpack. The meshy portion here is that so that if your tarp's wet, the water can drain out. This is actually a nice storage bag, and it's something that other companies should copy. In addition to this storage bag, you also receive this one. This is a more traditional storage bag. It has a draw pull at the top. For the $65 price tag, it's nice that the company includes the 2 storage bags. In addition to the storage bags, of course, you get the tarp itself. The tarp is a 10 foot by 10 foot, and it fits rather nicely inside of this storage bag. Now I'm sure you're wondering what's not included. That would be guy lines and stakes. With this kit, I have it guyed out. I also have some stakes that I keep inside of the bag, just in case I need them. Now that we've taken a look at what you receive and don't receive, I'm going to set up the tarp and I'll bring you back. From there, we'll go over the stats and start with my review. As you all can see behind me here, the tarp has been set up. Now let's go over some stats real quick. Again, this is a 10 foot by 10 foot tarp. When it's packed up, you're looking at 12 inches by 6.5 inches by 1.5 inches deep. The primary material for this tarp is a ripstop polyester. The weight of this tarp with both storage bags is 1 pound 12 ounces. If you don't want to use the storage bags, you'll drop a few ounces there. This is available in numerous colors. There's a black, an olive green, and multiple camo versions. The retail price of this tarp is $65, but you need to be careful, especially on Amazon. There's numerous sellers offering this tarp at a huge markup, so be careful. For this tarp here, I would not pay more than $65. It's not worth that. Especially be careful with a company called Military First. They oftentimes charge an excessive price. Make sure to pay attention to the price and the seller. With the tarp here, it has 19 reinforced tie-off points. There's a center seam and it is taped. And right there you have it. Those are the stats and features of this tarp. So now let's move over to my experiences, my review of this tarp, starting with the pros. The first pro that I have for this tarp is the size is excellent, especially for the money. The quality is good. It's not great. That's actually a con, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. A 10 by 10 tarp is my personal preference when it comes to tarp sizes. This offers you a ton of flexibility, a ton of versatility. You can set this up in so many different ways. You can do an A-frame, shelf setup, body bag. You can go into full storm mode if you want to. There's a lot that you can do with a 10 by 10. It's a palace for one person, and it can work for 2, even 3 individuals. The next pro that I have for this tarp is waterproofness. This tarp is without a doubt extremely waterproof, and I've tested that over and over and over again. You all have seen this. I've used this tarp in heavy rain, in strong storms, with hail. I've used it in breezy conditions, and without a doubt, it's handled everything in stride with no issues. Let's talk about that for a second. With this tarp being made from polyester, with this being an inexpensive tarp, this should be used primarily in the 3 seasons: spring, summer, fall. You can use this in the wintertime, but you have to be careful. This is not made to be super strong. It's not a super strong tarp. As I mentioned before, the company went with a lightweight polyester. It's a ripstop, and that's good, but this is very thin. It's not very strong. This tarp simply cannot handle super strong winds, and it cannot handle heavy snow loading. This is a 3-season tarp all the way. If you need something stronger than that, I would highly recommend that you find a tarp made from nylon. With that being said, everyone, for 3-season use, this is going to excel. Heavy rain, no problem. Light to moderate winds, no problem. And that takes us over to the next pro that I have for this tarp, and that's pack size. All in all, this is not bad. You can easily fit this inside of your backpack, in a front pocket, and at the same time, it doesn't weigh a whole lot. You're looking at a tarp that weighs less than 2 pounds. That can keep you dry, and that can protect you from the elements. I've already spoken about the 2 storage bags that are included. They are excellent. The zippered storage bag is excellent. With the mesh backing, water just drains out of it. It's pretty slick. And with that storage bag specifically, it's large enough for guy lines and also tent stakes. The next pro that I have for this tarp are the tie-off points. There are tons of them, 19, including 5 across the top. So having this many tie-off points offers a ton of versatility when it comes to your setups. You can set this up any way that you want to, and you're not held back by the tie-off points themselves. And with that right there, let's go over to the cons. My biggest con for this tarp is quality. The sewing job is terrible. There's loose threads all over this tarp. When I first got this tarp in, I was highly concerned. I did not think for a second that it was going to survive the testing that I had planned, but it did. Unfortunately, when it comes to Helikon-Tex products, that's oftentimes how it goes. Their quality control is less than desired. Oftentimes you will have loose threads all over the place, and that simply is the case with this tarp here. My next con for the tarp is the tie-off points themselves. While they're long enough to easily attach guy line to them, they're not very wide. For a 10x10 tarp, I would expect to see at least 1 inch webbing, but what you have here is about half an inch. This con goes back to this tarp being a 3-season tarp. While each of the guy line points are reinforced somewhat, there are certainly better tarps out there that are more reinforced, that are stronger than this one here. The next point that I'm going to talk about may not be a con to you, but this tarp does not include guy lines or tent stakes. The simple fact is that there's tarps out on the market today that cost less, that are larger than this, and they include tent stakes and guy lines. All of those points there wrap up my review of this tarp. All in all, to summarize, I do like this product. I've used it a ton. I do trust it. I trust it for summertime conditions only, based upon the materials, based upon the construction and the quality, the seam work. You certainly can use this tarp in the wintertime, but it's best used in fair conditions. Without a doubt, this has been a waterproof product. It's kept me dry, it's protected me from the elements, from the breeze, and it's done all of that at a fair price. I do wish the quality was better. That's my biggest gripe when it comes to Helikon-Tex. They make excellent products, but oftentimes their products just look like shit. I mean, they really do. The stitching on their clothing, on their tarps, just looks terrible, and I wish they would address that. Going back to the price for a second, again, this runs $65. I would not pay more than $65 for this tarp. For a little bit more, you could get a 4-season tarp. Yes, it would be heavier, but it would be much, much stronger. And with that being said, folks, I'm done. Make sure to comment down below and share your thoughts. What do you all think about Helikon-Tex, and what do you all think about the Super Tarp? Is this a Super Tarp? Comment down below. For $65, it's not a bad tarp. Not at all. But the thing is this. There are plenty of good tarps out on the market today. So the question is, what do you like the looks of? What are you willing to spend? What features are you looking for? How strong of a tarp are you looking for? Those are questions that only you can answer. Before you go, hit the thumbs up because it does help the channel. You can support the channel if you want to. Patreon, YouTube, you could join the Wolf Pack. The channel is agenda free. I don't care if you buy this product. I'm here to share my information, my experiences, and that's that. Until next time, everyone, take care, strength and honor. Bye for now.
The strangest feeling to know what to believe in. Cause every time you touch me, I can't control my body. Oh, baby, you are on my mind. All I think about, and I don't wanna stop. I don't wanna stop. Could you come closer to me? I just can't resist you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. It's like we're in a movie. I don't know how you do it. I look into your eyes and everything is different. Baby, you are on my mind. All I think about, and I don't wanna stop. I don't wanna stop. Could you come closer to me? I just can't resist you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling.